conversations this morning about the fact that we constantly hear about the real estate and commercial real estate being the source of potential problems, and particularly in the US and Europe. But then underneath the surface, the media or the coverage is not focusing on a lot of sectors that are actually performing well. So, we were talking about, student housing, medical office, logistics, data centers, as Mr. Schwartz was talking about earlier. All of them are performing really well. And the US is, as an economy, is continuing to deliver long-term trends that are supportive of all these sectors. So in a way, and probably I'm biased because this is our business, we continue to see opportunity. We continue to see opportunities for investors to deploy excess capital, and that's what our part of the world does. It invests excess capital in economies and in opportunities that deliver the diversification and the returns that they want. And just to continue on that thought, I think the difference that we're seeing in the GCC over the last perhaps 5 years, and obviously the bulk of it driven by Saudi, is the fact that previously investors wished to export capital because they didn't see the opportunity. And whenever the opportunity presented itself, it was of a size that was not A, institutional, or B, of attraction. Now what we're seeing is a magnitude of investments across, and I can only talk about real estate, but across all segments. I mean, you're talking about tourism, education, healthcare, logistics, data centers. And in every one of those, there is a magnitude of opportunity that's attracting institutional capital. So the ultra-high net worth families, the high net worth investors, the institutions are deploying in a manner that we haven't seen before. Sorry, I didn't get
regional banks, stability.
Regional banks? Well, look, from what we are seeing in what we do, regional banks have contracted quite a bit. We're not seeing any kind of appetite for lending. And hence, it has opened the door for this private credit, which is coming in and trying to effectively plug the hole that has been generated. I think the Fed, from what they've done, they've managed to stem the negative tide of other regional banks facing issues. But I think, if you look at it from just a barbell perspective, what these banks are exposed to, how much of it is problematic assets, because that's what drove the issue. The actual number of loans that are exposed to problems is not as the magnitude that is perceived in public. And that's why we haven't seen other names come out. The other side is, and we've also seen this in many of our deals, is that the banks are actively trying to work with the borrowers. They're actively trying to amend and extend. They're trying to, wherever they can, avoid pressing the button on calling out a default or a foreclosure. So my humble expectation is that we're not going to see a wave of failures, but it all depends on how long the Fed continues to hold the rates at where they are.